All right, so like many of you out there listening, I've got a lot of problems. One of them is not having any money, um, but I have other, issues that I kind of want to talk about with someone, like a therapist. So I went online and I was like, okay, so, free therapy, maybe in my area. Well, anyway, it was really convenient. I found a free online psychiatrist that you'll see, over the internet. I'm like, I can do this. I got Skype, and it's like they're getting their hours or something. I mean, I didn't know why it was free. Well, anyway, so my first session, I set it up and, I get on Skype and there I am. And there's the psychiatrist. And he goes, he talks to me for a minute or so and he's like, okay, most people, they feel vulnerable in certain situations and that's where all their problems come from. So we need to work on your vulnerability. I go, okay. And he goes, so what I need you to do is I need you to start, need to take your shirt off. Okay. So I'm like, oh, well, this is, getting kind of weird, but, it's therapy. So, I never really been in therapy before. Maybe that's what happens. So anyway, I take my shirt off, and then, it kind of goes from there, start shedding off other clothes. And then, he makes this horrible, like, sound, like almost like a dying animal, like this cry. And then it kind of goes out. I mean, I think there's video out there of me taking my clothes off. I think I got duped. I mean, I don't know. It's really hard to say. I mean, does anyone else have an experience like that? Maybe where they actually went to a psychiatrist in person and they had to take their clothes off? Maybe that'd be even stranger. I don't know. What I do know, though, is it's a slippery slope. That's all I got to say about that one. All right, everybody, I kind of like to introduce myself. I'm Alex Archer. I'm the host of The Slippery Slope. And this is a brand new podcast, first viewable on YouTube. So, I hope you like it. This first interview is with my friend Edgar. We're going to be talking about our lives, just kind of shooting the shit. I think it'll be pretty interesting, so I hope you enjoy. He's like, okay, so what's your name on the show? I'm like, well, I'm the host.
Remember, boys and girls, I got this. I don't need a second one.
I know he put the ankle band up there and made a bunch of commotion.
And this is Edgar. This is Edgar. It's nice to meet you. My hair is long, and it smells of a nice essential oil fragrance. But I am a hippie that slithered out from under a bar top.
All right. What is it again? What's
Edgar is
Edgar,
my
okay,
name.
all right.
I'm unofficially a comedian.
All right.
Nobody knows it yet.
Edgar.
This feels like a political show. Arguing for time. I'm going to talk over you.
No, Edgar. So, can I ask you a few questions if you don't mind? I mean, you and I, we may or may not have known each other for a while now, right?
I'd like to say I'm a special guest.
Okay, all right. So look, so you recently lost your job.
Yes, and it was a blessing. I dodged a bullet.
But I do want to kind of backtrack. I mean, like, I wanted to get on like a different topic because I didn't know how this was like really affecting like kind of you and you're kind of in like a shitstorm. And so I'm like, all right, so let's
I call it like a shit hurricane.
Instead of focusing on that. Let's focus on something else. Because your only means of income right now is the tarot card reading?
Which I have a graduation party to do tomorrow. So that'll be my whole day, noon to 6 or 7 or whatever.
Uh-huh.
So that's great. But I have my ways of making money. It's not turning tricks, but, we all got to do what we got to do to get by.
Yeah, I've been on the street once or twice.
Storage locker. Living out of a storage locker in Fort Lauderdale.
It may happen again, I don't know. But,
okay.
There, so we don't have it on hot.
Well, he had it like a sweatshop in here.
It's a little hot in the studio.
It's like a sweatshop. So these slave wages we're getting paid. Nothing but buffalo nickels.
I mean, if we had a buffalo nickel, we'd be lucky. Those things are worth a lot of money.
Yeah, I think only nickels of World War II years that have silver in them.
How the fuck do you know that?
I know that. It's like 1942 to 1945 nickels, since they're thick and you throw them at strippers. Those have a good amount of silver in them. Now, anything else, boys and girls, that's pre-1965, so 64 and earlier, any silver coins or 40 or 90% silver. It depends on the year, but there's a website to check it. But you better start saving that silver. And those copper pennies before 1982 or earlier, you better save them. Because copper is an industrial metal, and that's valuable.
Wow, okay. I mean, like, we should do a separate podcast of, like, your financial advice to young people. That'd be just...
Well, we could do a whole podcast sometime on all my conspiracy theories, and we could go through the alphabet.
I mean, we could do... essentially...
I'm a mentally deranged individual who should probably be in a padded cell, but instead I'm on house arrest.
No, but you see, the thing is, what we could do, sir, is we could go throughout our entire daily lives from, like, day one, like the day we all remember the worst shit.
The day I dropped out of the uterus, that was a painful experience. We all
remember the worst experiences, and like sometimes it's like, all right. So what was I thinking about the other night? I was thinking about something.
How pitiful your life is.
I try not to think about that, But, I was thinking about, how some people are so bubbly. Those people, they're like so bubbly all the time. And then, so that's one end of the spectrum, right? And then the other end of the spectrum, you have those people, they're so negative. Like, and if you take those two.
That might be me.
Well, no. Well, I don't think quite.
I'd say like 60 or 63% of me.
Maybe, yeah. That's probably an accurate figure.
Humor.
I mean, this is not like empirical studied at all, but
I was talking percentages, even though I'm talking out of my ass.
So
only on certain topics.
What I think is that, like, I mean, if you bring one of these really negative people in contact with one of these really positive people, I think the really negative one could, like, bring down the real positive one, like, way sooner.
Isn't that our dynamic?
You know what I'm saying? No, I don't think it is.
I'm the negative one, and you're the bubbly one. You're the extrovert.
I'm just like...
I'm surprised he had me crawl out from under the bridge or the rock that I live under, since I'm such an agoraphobic introvert, to come out here and spill all my secrets. I try to be an open book, but it doesn't serve me well.
Okay, so,
when you date, don't tell everybody anything.
Wait, what are you saying now?
When you date someone, keep the facade up as long
as possible. Where in the world did that come from?
So you can land them.
It's just like a thought that ran through his head.
And then once they're married to you, just try to keep the boat even keeled, even though they know that they're really sunk. But you just...
Are you giving relationship advice right now? What is that?
You never know what you're going to get out when you pop a quarter in my ass crack. You never know what's going to come out. What, in terms of advice...
All right.
And I plan to change my last name legally in the future anyhow, so it doesn't matter. And I will change it again 3 years consecutively for the rest of my life. I'll have about 45 Social Security cards by the time I hit that casket, which I'm going to prepay for. I'm going to pick out that cemetery stone, having a Ouija board on it, and then you bitches will realize what my identity was. Nothing but a Ouija board. I don't want my fucking name on that.
Man.
Amen.
Okay. All right, Edward.
Edgar, bitch.
Okay, Edgar.
Like Edgar Allan. Edgar Allan Poe.
I was thinking about Edward Scissorhands.
No, Edgar Allan Poe.
So what is it? What do you?
I got more cans around me than Amy Winehouse and a Queen concert on his piano. More beer cans.
So, all right.
Edgar Allan Poe.
So is it Edgar?
Yeah, like Edgar Allan Poe.
Okay, Edgar Allan Poe. Okay.
Minus the sex for the hoe part, but...
All right. Well, shit. All right, so...
Anyway,
you were telling me about... You tell me about there was a situation you were in at one point. If I may.
I'm always in a situation. Okay, I'm in a situation right now.
May I just try to kind of... I think you'll get this once I start it.
Come on, Barbara Walters.
And you'll be able to... Okay, so... Ring, ring, ring.
He used to beat off, and his name was Mr. Bone, and he was stroking his bone. And he would call that law office up. But you know what? At the end of the day, after I went home with my stomach churning from the acid, from the anxiety, crying in my fucking drink while I was drinking hard on my lunch hour because I live 6 blocks away, I got $8,000 out of the settlement, and I didn't have to pay the attorney. I guess I'm running this show at this point, but this story is quite tragic. So, he would call and tell me, he would call and tell me he was going to fire his paralegal, and he said he had her for about 25 years, because this was an old motherfucker. Well, not that old, not like white hair and stuff. He had brown hair, but it was balding, so you get the ballpark. So he was going to get rid of her, and he wanted me to come be his paralegal and give him blowjobs under his desk. And he worked in a basement of this house, and it had a rear entrance, but he wanted to access my rear entrance, and that was not on the menu for that point in my life. Yeah, he'd call every minute from 8 a.m. till 8:58. And the boss said I was making it up until they checked the phone records. And then they found that the two files that they had with the opposition attorney were in limbo, and there was nothing going on with them. So they said that there was no reason why he needed to be calling the office. And I said, well, he told me that he fell in love with my voice. What kind of sick fuck falls in love with a voice? You guys might fall in love with our voices, but don't call up and masturbate to our hotline. This is not no 900 number. That's how elderly men blow their load. It's really, well, it sounds like a 4-alarm fire, but really a few dribbles come out, but it's quite awful.
If that, you know.
Parent advisory, this is not children safe. I hope you're not listening to this driving to work.
I guess, if they want to get educators, I don't know. Maybe it's educational.
Yeah, on what not to do in life.
That's true. So essentially, we're recording this in my kitchen.
Yes, but someday it will be a skyscraper in a metropolitan area.
For me, maybe, but I don't know about you, man. What's going to happen to you?
We have to throw me in. I add some dark humor to it. He'll have emphysema before it's time to hit the airwaves.
That's probably right.
God, Matthew Broderick. I have one person infatuated with me, but I really don't even know what I think about them.
Did they offer you money yet? Or did they not? No, I'm not. I didn't mean that. Did they?
I would have been on it if they offered me money.
Did they?
I can be bought for the right price, and it's usually on the discount, wholesale.
Did they ask you for money yet?
No, but the two individuals prior, be careful with those dating apps because there's a lot of scam artists on there, and they'll try to play a few little sympathy cards. So if you're patriotic, they're really going to become a sucker for one of them, because if they try to go for you, they'll go for you if you want to feel like you're going to help a soldier out, but in reality, all they want you to do is pay for a cell phone they claim they just damaged right when they started talking to you. And then they say their accounts are frozen. Then if you say no to that, then they're like, well, what about an iTunes gift card? I'm like, what the fuck are you gonna use an iTunes gift card for? I thought your cell phone broke.
And we all know that his cell phone wasn't really broken. So the tragic lives of Edgar and the host of The Slippery Slope, Alexander Archer. We will see you next week.